everything.
You did. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to It's Giving, where we discuss the latest and greatest in TV and film. I'm your host, Brandon the Introvert, and in this episode, we will be discussing the 95th Academy Awards. So, let's start out with the host, Jimmy Kimmel. There's not much to be said. I feel like throughout the show, there were times where I forgot he was the host, even while I was watching it. Jimmy Fallon's kind of funny, but Jimmy Kimmel, like James Corden, like all those like very white late night show. Seth Meyers is funny on like at least SNL, but like he's not like ha 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 funny, you know. So all those types of hosts, like they just never do it for me. So I kind of already went into it expecting like just to be like you know. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about him. I really don't like how Will Smith, of course, for the infamous slap from Chris Rock after defending Will Smith after defending his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, after Chris Rock made a joke about her. Now, for me personally, do I think it's not about right or wrong. I think I don't fight, but I don't think it was a wrong thing. I just think it wasn't a smart thing to do it on stage in front of millions of people. You know what I mean? If you were to do it, yeah, go ahead, do it at the after party, whatever. Next time I see you, whatever. But in terms of like in front of everybody, I just don't think it was the smart thing to do. But we've already been there. We talked about that. Check out my recap of that last year. But I don't like how you're banned. The Academy banned him for 10 years, but is squeezing every ounce of clout they can out of that incident. Like that definitely spiked your viewership. It definitely spiked your relevance even more so. And they using it still to this day, a year later, using it as fodder for jokes. So to me, it says y'all aren't that serious. Y'all aren't that serious. Y'all had to do a symbolic thing. Also, because he was black man. Let's start there. Because 10 years, Will Smith, A-list Will Smith, blockbuster Will Smith, you going to ban him for 10 years knowing that's not his character? He doesn't just go up and just slap people. This isn't his thing. Like we at least from the public eye, we have not known him to be a aggressive or violent person. But the fact everybody just viewed it as this whole violent act, like white people are violent, but y'all gonna do this? But then again, and I'm going to get into that throughout this episode, like the Oscars, the Academy Awards, I lost hope for any type of real view of us. By us, I mean black people as like people and as humans from that type of industry. You look at, you know, the awards we win, it's either we have to be a stereotype or we have to go through trauma. And I think I said that in the last year episode, like there's no like we just go throughout life just living a happy, smiley, triumphant type of life. We have to be oppressed or we have to be a stereotype or both to win an Academy Award. Look at the track history of pretty much, I'm not going to say every, I don't like generalizing, but like most of the black wins, see what type of movie they were in, what their character was and what their character represented. Like Moonlight was great, but it's still under the umbrella of we have to bare our souls in a way that gives us pity. You can say that, pity, or like, wow, they go through so much. Like we have to do that to get recognized at an Academy Award type of winning type of level. You know what I mean? We can't be like La La Land. We can't go around and sing about our love for each other. We can't do that. That's too humanizing for us. You know, we have to be an othered. We have to be something to be cared for, looked after, pity for us to get that recognition. So all I'm saying is they did Will Smith dirty. You're going to ban him, but still use the incident to get, you know, publicity and promo and laughs. And like you're using him, like you're literally using him and banning him. But, you know, that's indicative of this whole country. But that's a whole nother conversation. It really isn't a whole nother conversation. It's all together, but for the scope of this episode, we'll be moving forward because shit. Next we have Holly Bailey, and the new Little Mermaid poster came out. The new trailer for the movie came out, and I was literally screaming as soon as she came out on that stage. And that beautiful, like, it gives under the sea, aquatic, teal, aquamarine. I screamed throughout the whole trailer. I am really excited for this. I think this will be a hit. And just to see, you know, Ariel and the Locks and Holly Bailey, do I agree? Like, you know what? Yeah, we'll talk about it. Like, she had to have a white prince and a pretty much white presenting father, and I'm at my wits end for like how there hasn't been a black Disney princess with a black like counterpart or black partner like ever. Prince Naveen, I mean, if you want, you can say he's Afro Latin, but he was obviously like Latin, like just Latin. Like you could say he was Afro Latin, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't given that. But like he didn't have like, not to say blackness should look a certain way, but let's be real, he didn't have no nappy hair. He wasn't like black. That's just what I gotta say. But yeah, but the trailer was everything I will be looking forward to when the movie comes out. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio won Best Animated Feature. I love, like, animation is like everything to me. It's what I love. I love cartoon characters. One day I want to voice a cartoon character, multiple mini cartoon characters. Like that's my thing. So it was cool seeing that win. I feel like there was a lot of good animated films this year. I didn't see the Puss in Boots, but Marcel the Shell with the shoes on was really good. Turning Red was really, really, really good. Pinocchio has been on my list for a long time just because Guillermo del Toro, like it's going to look weird, it's going to look freaky. So I felt like Pinocchio was literally a perfect film to kind of put his mind on. But I look forward to seeing that film. But Turning Red, you could say could have won too. That was a really good movie. It was a really, really good movie. Marcel the Shell, I didn't see it winning, but the story is very simple. It's a different type of storytelling. It's very simple, straightforward, but doesn't like pander to kids. I feel like adults and kids can watch this one. And then we had Ke Huy Quan win Best Supporting Actor for Everything Everywhere All at Once. You might recognize him as the little boy from Temple of Doom. I believe he was also in the Goonies. I think he definitely deserved that award. He was really good in that, and I feel like he was a great heart for the movie. And on the pod's Twitter, I talked about how his character was similar to Jerry from Rick and Morty. Just how Jerry is obviously, like, I feel like a foil to Beth and Rick, who has the world in the palm of his hands. I feel like Morty is a combination of Rick and like Jerry, the way they view life. But Jerry, you have him next to these like phenomenal, powerful characters, but he still remains true to himself. He still remains very much a human in the sense that he views life in a depending on who you are talking to, he views life in a very simple but earnest, loving, honest way amidst all of these different realities, all these universes, all these possibilities, all this wonder, all this phenomena. He still cares about what's important, and that's his family. Like, he loves Beth more than anything. He loves his kids more than anything, and he has a great heart. And he might be viewed, I mean, he is kind of dumb, but he, I think, offers the morality for the family in an environment where they can easily lose themselves and become, or strive to become, godlike figures like Rick has, where even though he has all this power, he's still very empty inside without his family. And Jerry is very happy with life because he prioritizes the true meaning of life, which is people, humans, family, love, you know. And I feel like Rick he obviously has complications with accepting that and learning to prioritize families. And we see his arc, his character growth, like he's learning, and you see him a little more healed with each season. But Jerry definitely represents Ke Huy Quan's character in Everything Everywhere All at Once, because both fathers were definitely very loving, very open, very vulnerable, and that's something that you don't see a lot with men, more so fathers. I definitely think what I said about Jerry applies to his character as well, Wayman. Speaking of Everything Everywhere All at Once, Jamie Lee Curtis won the Best Supporting Actress. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a hater. I think her performance was good. I don't think it was bad, but I think Angela Bassett's character, Queen Ramonda in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, just meant a lot more and had a lot more weight and context to it than playing an IRS villain and Everything Everywhere All at Once. I mean, and some other characters if you've seen the movie, but she shouldn't have won. She shouldn't have won. The last Oscar that Angela Bassett was nominated for was What's Love Got to Do with It, and she should have got the Oscar. Like, there's really not much I can say outside of she should have got the Oscar. Her role was definitely more significant, meant a lot, and she was in the majority of the movie in a very special and an important way. Like, she was there to hold Wakanda together when T'Challa passed away, and Chadwick Boseman too. So you had that grief within the movie and outside the movie coming together to give you real, she's acting, but you can tell, and literally by what she says, like, she channeled her real life emotions. This meant a lot more, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people will agree. But then again, like I said, the Oscars are the Oscars, and the Oscars are going to stay the Oscars. The Oscars do shit for symbolism, and they're trying to be this politically, socially aware type of culture now, but it's just not working because we see what types of people they favor over the other. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. I think they prefer the people that don't call them out and fall in line with how things are. Yeah. And you see the voters, like, the voters are definitely, you can assume, mostly white. Same with the Grammys, like, similarly to how Beyonce didn't win for Renaissance, but Harry Styles did. That's why in my head she won Best Album of the Year, and she's been constantly snubbed. And you saw that in one of them articles, like, they interviewed, I believe, 5 voters, and one of the voters, who remained anonymous, of course, said, like, Beyonce just, she wins too many times, and it just wouldn't have meant anything if she won again. And, like, so we see they're putting personal bias into the voting. So that's why I'm not all the way upset, because it's the Oscars. Like, the Oscars are still so white. Like, they not gonna let that woman win. So, and it's just very sad. It's just very, 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 very sad. So that's all I gotta say. On a positive, we saw Ruthie Carter win for Best Costume Design for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. She won the same award, the 2019 Oscars. So, and she's the first Black woman to win 2 Oscars in any category. 2 Oscars. The first Black woman to win 2 Oscars in 2023. So this is kind of what I'm saying. But congratulations to her. It's undeniable, her talent and what she put into the costumes into Wakanda Forever. Like, they're iconic. And Black Panther, the first film, they're iconic. They're iconic, and they are what makes the film. If you haven't really looked at the costumes, like, take a closer look and just see how it embodies the spirit of the world of Wakanda. By the world, I'm talking about the world within Wakanda, the film, the characters, just the spirit of everyone and everything in the film, and pays a great respect to the African cultures which the costumes are influenced by. So, to Ruth Carter, at least we got some type of win, child. Lift Me Up, which did not win Best Original Song, which confused me, was performed by Rihanna after Denai Guerrera had that really moving speech, and you could tell she was, you saw she was still in tears over Chadwick Boseman's, like, passing. Like, this movie meant a lot. Like, it meant a lot. It meant a lot. The least they could have done was given supporting actress to Angela Bassett, but like I said, the reasons I already said before. But yeah, Rihanna performed a great. It was really good, a really, really good performance, and she did Tim's justice with the song, did the film justice with the song as well, and she's doing it all while pregnant. And she's performing at Super Bowl next month, Oscars, and you got your second child on the way. Like, great job, Rihanna. And then we have Michelle Yeoh, who won Best Lead Actress for Everything Everywhere All at Once. She is the second woman of color to win the Best Lead Actress award, right after Halle Berry, who won it for Monster Ball. 22 years ago, I believe, in 2001. And she is the first Asian woman to win the Best Lead Actress, and well deserved. Like, her character was excellent, and especially I didn't see the other movie she was running against. I believe what Kate Blanchett, Ana de Armas, I believe Michelle Williams, and I forget the other woman, but she was running against all white people. So just this win alone is really special and it's history. And then last but not least, Everything Everywhere All at Once swept the awards with winning Best Picture, Best Film Editing, Best Directing, Best Original Screenplay, Best Lead Actress, Best Supporting Actress, Best Supporting Actor. Dominated pretty much. I think it's the most awarded film ever. Now, just from a talk me and my friend was having literally right before this, she gave an interesting perspective. The fact that it was produced by the Russo brothers, who is play in a very integral part to just the MCU films. So what she was telling me was she believed they had it from jump to win all of this just because they were backed by Marvel and Disney, and it was touted as like the diversity film, the independent diversity film. And that's I agree with that. I mean, not to kind of downplay Michelle Yeoh or Ki Hu Kwan or the Daniels, not to downplay them, but yeah, like, shit is strategic, shit is symbolic, and they have to tout certain things. They don't want that beef. They don't want that Oscar so white beef again. So they're going to do what they need to do, whether it's real or not, to show that they're not as white as people make them out to be. But they are. They're the DNA of the Oscars, the DNA of the Academy is white. As long as the DNA is white, I don't think little individual actions can change the makeup or the culture of something that has been there for almost a century. So that's just my thoughts. But overall, I mean, it was a pretty, I don't know. I feel like the movies this year, I feel like the more interesting movies to me that I saw that were nominated were more like the documentaries and the shorts and the animated features, like films like that. But films like Elvis or like All Quiet on the Western Front, which also won a lot of awards, Top Gun, Avatar 2, like Avatar 2, I'm sure is a visually stunning thing, but they are exploiting the shit out of indigenous people in that movie. So yeah, films like that I just wasn't excited for. I definitely am going to see Banshees of Inisherin. I want to see Triangle of Sadness, and I want to see the Puss in Boots movie, and I want to see the shorts. Like, I want to see the shorts, and I want to see some of the documentaries. But overall, like, it was just like the films just, and honestly, it's usually like that. It's usually a bunch of white films that are just like, and then a few good films in there, and then one film by with black actors. Oh yeah, Brian Tyree didn't win Best Supporting Actor. I didn't see Causeway. I believe that was the film he was nominated for, but I didn't see Causeway to have like a opinion about it. But if he were to win, I would not have minded that at all. So, but yeah, that was pretty much the Oscars this year. I feel like the biggest takeaway or the legacy that this Oscars is going to pass down is, the historical night, in terms of there's never been two Asian winners, and I think in a night of an Oscars before, like for supporting actor and lead actress. Of course, Michelle Yeoh made history. Of course, Ruth Carter made history. And I think Guillermo del Toro made history. He's won Best Picture, Best Animated Feature, and I forget the other categories, but he's made history with being the one to win all of those. Everything Everywhere All at Once, like I said, was the most awarded, and the Angela Bassett snub, and the 1 year later from follow up from the slap heard across the world. So, and The Little Mermaid. So I really do feel like those will be the takeaways from this year's Oscars in the future. Yeah, I'm looking forward. Am I looking forward to the next Oscars? Not really. I just watch it because it's a major event. So I just feel like it's just all pomp and blah, blah, blah. But let me know what y'all think of the Oscars down below in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel for more updates and videos on what I said before, the latest and greatest in TV and film. I will be talking to y'all later, and I'm so goofy looking. Bye.